Breaking news, Pokemon Legends ZA has been announced for release in 2025. I spent a lot of time analysing the trailer and I'm pretty sure I've categorised a list of pretty much every Pokemon that will return in the game. Completely based off of the Pokemon just teased in the trailer alone, we can say that there's around 63 confirmed Pokemon. Pikachu appears, so we can count Pichu and Raichu. Litleo and Pyroar show up, so does Klefki, so does Flabebe, so we can count Floette and Florges. Furfrou shows up, Fletchling shows up, so we can count Fletchinder and Talonflame. Dragonair shows up, so we can count Dratini and Dragonite. Then there's Hawlucha, Magikarp, Gyarados, and a Hippopotas, so we can count Hippowdon. There's an Emolga, an Absol, a Gogoat, so we can count Skiddo, a Staryu, so we can count Starmie. I should mention there is another fish Pokemon there, but I don't recognize it, so I'm not going to include it in the list. It might be Arrokuda, but I don't know. What looks like an Ekans, so we can count Arbok, Aegislash, so we can count Honedge and Doublade. Eevee and Sylveon show up, so we can count Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, and Glaceon. Sandile and Crocodile show up, so we can count Crocorock. Meowstic shows up, so we can count Esper. Onix shows up, so we can count Steelix. Heracross and Pinsir show up. Bellsprout is seen, so we can count Weepinbell and Victreebel. It seems like that Pokemon is Pangoro, so we can count Pancham. It's about 5 frames of this Pokemon, but it looks a lot like Noivern, so we can count Noibat as well. This is probably the most wild guess. I think this looks like Cacturn. I could easily be wrong, so, feel free to comment correcting me, but if that's the case, we can count Cacnea as well. That's another one I can't really make out. It looks like Salamence, so we can count Bagon and Shelgon. And of course, the game's name is Pokemon Legends ZA, so we can count Zygarde. And that is the 63 Pokemon likely returning in the game, but there's even more. With Mega Evolution confirmed to return, we can assume that every Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y that got a Mega Evolution will be in Pokemon Legends ZA. Obviously, this isn't 100% confirmed, but if this does turn out to be true, more Pokemon showing up in the game will include Venusaur as well as Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Abra, Kadabra, Alakazam, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, Kangaskhan, Aerodactyl, Mewtwo, Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos, Scyther, Scizor. I also included Kleavor here. It's a bit of a stretch, but it could happen. Continuing on, we have Houndour, Houndoom, Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar, Torchic, Combusken, Blaziken, Ralts, Curlier, Gardevoir, Gallade, Mawile, Aron, Lairon, Aggron, Meditite, Medicham, Electrike, Manectric, Shuppet, Banette, Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp, Riolu, Lucario, Snover, and Abomasnow, bringing the total up to 116 Pokemon. It gets a bit more iffy here because I also wanted to include the Mega Evolutions from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Of course, these are more far-fetched, but just bear with me here. If all of those Pokemon also show up in this game, we will be seeing Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Slowking, Trico, Grovyle, Sceptile, Mudkip, Marshtomp, Swampert, Sableye, Kavana, Sharpedo, Numel, Camerupt, Swablu, Altaria, Snorunt, Glalie, Frostlass, Beldum, Matang, Metagross, Rayquaza, Baneri, Lopunny, Ordino, and Diancie, bringing the total up to 149. There's just one last group of Pokemon left that we can assume will be returning in this game. For context, Pokemon Legends Arceus featured every single Pokemon from Sinnoh, so if that trend continues, we can expect to see every Kalos Pokemon in Pokemon Legends ZA, which would include the starter Pokemon, Chespin, Quilladin, Chestnut, Fennekin, Braixen, Delphox, Froakie, Frogadier, and Greninja, as well as Bunnelby, Diggersby, Scatterbug, Spupa, Vivillon, Spritzy, Aromatisse, Swirlix, Slurpuff, Inkay, Malamar, Binacle, Barbaracle, Skrelp, Dragalge, Clauncher, Clawitzer, Helioptile, Heliolisk, Tyrunt, Tyrantrum, Amora, Aurorus, Dedenne, Carbink, Gumi, Sligo, Goodra, Phantump, Trevenant, Pumpkaboo, Gorgeist, Bergmite, Avalugg, Xerneas, Yveltal, Hooper, and Volcanion, bringing the total to a final 196 Pokemon. This next year is going to be absolutely crazy with the build up to Pokemon Legends ZA. You really don't want to miss the new trailers, the new announcements, the new Pokemon. I would really suggest you subscribe to the Radio Mochi channel, turn on notifications, and you'll never miss a thing ever again.